Most people think bright sunny days are the best conditions for wildlife photography. But honestly, some of my favorite conditions are days like this. Overcast skies create softer light, simplify the backgrounds, and oftentimes just make wildlife photography easier. In this video, I'll show you what I look for in overcast conditions and why cloudy weather can actually help you create stronger wildlife photos. One of the biggest advantages of overcast weather is the quality of light. When you have this nice thin layer of clouds, and on days like this when there's a little bit of a drizzle, the whole scene is evenly lit, which just makes exposure a lot easier to manage, and it's much more consistent throughout the entire scene. This soft, even light really helps to bring out some of the detail and texture in the feathers of the birds. Overcast light also allows you to elongate the shooting session. Right now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. If this was clear blue sky day, I would have packed up and left a couple of hours ago because the light would just be too harsh. There'd be a heat mirage coming off the ground, and all of the photos would probably be very distorted. Because it's a nice overcast day, I'm able to photograph all day and really have some really good encounters and longer encounters with the subjects in front of me. Now, overcast light also helps with the backgrounds as well. It makes them more simplified. Because there's no harsh highlights or shadows in the background, the light's not hitting off things in the background, everything's much more muted, and it just is a much nicer transition and less distracting in the background. This really helps you find some nice, more muted background tones that really help your subject stand out in the frame. Wildlife activity is also different on overcast days. Wildlife typically remains much more active through softer light situations, days where there's overcast lighting, compared to days where there is harsh midday sun, because everything heats up and their activity dies down as it gets hotter out. With it being nice and cool out still, wildlife activity is still pretty consistent and allows you to get some good activity and good encounters much later in the day. I've also found that the wildlife activity on overcast days is also a little bit slower and much more relaxed. It's not just a constant rapid movement on those bright sunny days where they're just trying to get from one place to the next to get as much food as they can before it gets too hot. Instead, on overcast days, they're moving about a little bit slower, a little bit more deliberately, and you can really have some nice encounters with more stationary subjects. And on these overcast days, you really benefit from slowing down and relaxing, being more observant and deliberate in where you set yourself up for wildlife photography. Because the activity is less hectic, because you don't have to be chasing dramatic lighting for only a certain narrow window of time during the day, you have a much longer shooting period out in front of you, and you can kind of really slow down and take it all in and really set yourself up in good positions where the wildlife is active to get those good encounters. And these days really help you think more about the fundamentals of composition in your photography. Because the lighting is so even, once you dial in your settings, you really don't need to change them too frequently. This allows you to be more cognizant of your composition and really what you want to include in your frame and how you want the animal portrayed in the photo. Now, another factor about these days is they can really add some mood to your photos, especially now when we have some light rain falling from the sky. You can really get some nice dramatic situations and some dramatic feel in your photos, especially when you incorporate some of the darker clouds and sky in the background. If you can include those elements in the composition, include the fog in the background maybe, you can really get some moody photos. The softer tones and muted atmosphere of the photos can also help you make your photos appear more calm and natural looking compared to bright, harsh lighting. Instead of fighting the gray conditions, embrace them and try to make them part of your images. Not every strong, memorable wildlife photo needs to have dramatic lighting to make it work. One of the biggest mistakes is assuming that cloudy, overcast skies means bad lighting and poor encounters, when on the contrary, I've had some of my best wildlife encounters on days such as this. Today is a good example of that. I'm out here able to photograph salt marsh sparrows, which is an endangered species in this area. And because it's a nice cloudy overcast day, it's a perfect conditions to be out here on the marsh, where otherwise this would have been much too harsh lighting conditions. And I was able to set myself up where they are, and one of them came really close to me. And I was able to get the closest photo of a salt marsh sparrow that I have yet to date. So this is why I love lighting conditions such as today, because it allows you to have much longer photography outings. And in these instances, you're really able to dial in your settings, set them and pretty much forget them, and instead focus more on composition, approach, your positioning, all those factors that really tie into making a great photo. A lot of the things we've been talking about in this series start to work together on days like this. Softer light improves detail, simpler backgrounds help isolate your subject, Slower pacing encourages better observation and positioning, and better encounters with the wildlife in front of you. And also having an understanding of how these kinds of conditions impact wildlife behavior really allows you to set yourself up in good positions to capture that moment and let it develop in front of you naturally. So next time you're out and the weather turns cloudy or you have a cloudy day to go out, don't assume it's going to be bad conditions. In fact, it could be some of the best conditions for wildlife photography that you've had. Spend some time paying attention to how the softer light impacts how the scene looks and how it can improve your composition and encounters with the wildlife. You may end up being like me and preferring these conditions compared to bright sunny conditions out in the field. If you want help learning how to work in different conditions out in the field, I cover that in my mentorship class, or you can come out with me in the field on my guided sessions. I have information down below in the description. Otherwise, that's it for today's Tips Tuesday. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope it encourages you to get out into the field on overcast days and even days where there's a little bit of rain. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next Tips Tuesday. Thanks for watching.